This was just an experiment to see if it would work. Wrong math. The math ain't mathing on that one. And I came out and found her orange-handed. Ain't so chill, more like hot vibes. I guess my mom sets up and runs off. Seeks shelter. It's like not the best. Way to measure this. Just trying to get a rough idea to make sure it's 8 feet. I guess stretched out it'll be 8 feet. Because I opened this up, and when I opened it up, I'm like, oh, that's the 8 feet right there. So I opened it out, and then when I opened it out, I measured that way, and I'm like, no, that's 12 feet. And I'm like, they send the wrong size. So I opened it up a little bit more, and I realized that 12 feet, it unfolds out that way, it continues out that way, so then the other way must have been the 8 feet. So that's 8 feet. This is a fence privacy screen, and 90% blockage. Hold on, can you 10% see me? Do you see that? I can see you. 90%. Somebody did some wrong math. The math ain't mathing on that one. So, you wanna walk out here? I know my mom said that she had filmed this over here. I think you did a little bit of it. The plants, it is so hot. Today is the 3rd hottest day in a row. So I pulled all of these plants over here, the ones that were in pots. If you can get this over here. Now, all of these plants were at the nursery, and they're all there for you to buy, but I don't really know too much about plants, except for what's there. It says whether they're like sun, shade, things like that, or whatever. You ask questions, and they'll tell you a little bit about the plants and whether or not they're what, annual or seasonal? Is it perennial? I don't know. Is this how much I know about plants? All I know is that when I went in, I did not want to choose them from my conscious mind, because if I had to make the decision, then I would have been like, what do I get? I would have probably overthought it, or said like, maybe this one, maybe that one, I don't know. So I go in, and when I'm at the nursery, I'm quiet. I try not to talk, and I just listen to myself, my inner self, to give me the idea, and it's just, it starts popping out. Get that one, get this one, or not get it. It's not a voice, but it just says like that. And so I get it, and that's what turned out when we were at that one store, and they were all on that cart, and people were saying how beautiful the arrangement was, and I didn't really think about it. I was just like, oh, I just got some plants. But then I looked at it after, you know, some people had said something about it, and I'm like, oh, that does look nice. But then once I get it to the yard, it's going to be dispersed out, so it might not look so nice. But yeah, there's a bunch of different plants here, and I have them pulled over because this is a shade part of the yard. But I wanted to tell you guys, so with these plants here, after I moved them over here, I was like, there's a whole area right here that we could do something with. There's these 3 trees, and there's a whole area here that this path sweeps around. And I was like, this would be really cool for a Japanese garden. And I'm like, but I don't know anything about Japanese gardens. I've heard the term before. I've seen like in a video game or something like that, like was it City Skylines, that there's a thing, it's a Japanese garden, there's all these pink flowers and stuff that's in it. And so I'm like, but there's all these flowers and there's this space. I didn't know what to do with this area. And so I'm like, what if I could do a pond? What if I could do like rocks? And there's all these plants, you can make an arrangement, make them look really good. So if we can come through here, I was like, well, what would go in a Japanese garden? Well, I don't know what would go in a Japanese garden, but I was like, I want something circular. And so I looked up, and this is a moon gate, which is very common in Chinese culture, and you will find them sometimes in Japanese and Chinese gardens. So this is a little cheapo depot thing that costs like $25. I wanted the frame for it. You see how it's like blah, 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 blah. But you can get it, like, put it, I've got stakes in it to go into the ground, but I've only got 2 in there, 1 on each side. But I've got these, what are these called?
Jasmines.
Jasmine plants. I wanted to do something with these jasmine plants to where the vines would grow up and around it on both sides. And so I think they have like a honeysuckle smell. They smell really good. And I think they attract like the bees for pollinating and things like that. And I'm okay with the bees coming onto the property as long as they don't have a nest on the property. Because the moment you get near their nest, if you've seen when we first started clearing this property, they will attack.
Ow! Look at all the bees.
They're on your back, legs.
Get off, get off,
Oh my god. They're still, are they?
Are they still on me? Ouch, 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 ouch. There's just one down in here.
Why am I so... They will attack. They get very aggressive when you're near the nest. But I thought before I got this that I wanted to build one, and I was wanting to build one maybe out of concrete, but then I was like, that's like a lot of effort, and I don't know what I'm doing with that. So I got the frame for it so that it would be like what I've heard them called as a portal into this garden area back here. I wanted to get some plants that were a little bit taller in the back that were up against the fence, and then some shorter, more prettier plants in the front, but then something in the middle, like either those rocks or a combination of a rock and pond, something like that. That just like came to me, and then I was just expounding upon it and kind of thinking about it, and I was like, it's really cool maybe to put something like that along this meditation path or nature walkway that I've put in here. And this is mulch that's down here. It does have the weed barrier underneath of it, but I have thought about right around the pool putting maybe concrete there because it's kind of a little prickly for bare feet getting out of the pool, even though there's some stone pathways there. But check this out over here. It's so hot. And look how tacky this looks. It's so hot that these plants have been getting burnt that have been here around the pool. Now, someone came over earlier and was like, well, the reason why they're getting burnt is because they're too close to the pool. Well, that's not the case, because prior to these 3 days of all this heat, they weren't getting burnt. And there are other plants that are in the ground on the property where they're getting burnt when they're in the sun. And so I'm trying to cover these up because these plants, of course, cost money, and I don't want them to die. But I'm just trying to find any way to get them covered up until we get our netting in that blocks out the UV and the sunlight that we can put over them. It was also suggested that we put some pillars up on either side of the pool and just like put like a big like a tarp or something, not a tarp, but like it's some type of mesh material that shades the entire area. But that seems kind of a little more permanent, and I'm not really sure about that. Like, look at this. This is burnt. These are singed here and here, and this is a blueberry plant. Now, I wanted the blueberry plants around the pool, and there's also a banana tree. There's 2 banana trees on both sides of the pathway over here, and I just wanted to see, what would happen. But I wasn't expecting it to get so hot to burn to a crisp the plants. And the pool over here, my mom may or may not have said something about it. This was just an experiment to see if it would work. I had no idea if it would or would not work. I get the idea that it could cave in, but we didn't fill the sides in with dirt. First, what we did was we filled it up with water to make sure it had its, like, the walls were up and everything like that, and then we put the dirt in gradually. And so it's been up so far, but it will void the warranty. I definitely would not recommend it. And even if you wanted to do that, I couldn't see any of you actually digging that deep of a hole to put an above ground pool in it and then filling it up with water. And even if you got someone to do it, they would probably look at you like you were crazy anyway. And
just like Justin.
Yeah, he said he had
I've never seen.
He never seen I've never seen that either. Someone put it in there, but I'm like, you know what? I got this property. I can put the pool in there if I want to and test it out and see. And so it's worked so far. And I'm just seeing where the imagination can go with what you can create. That's not so traditional, I guess. Because we get an idea of what we want sometimes, and we think that we want those things, but those ideas aren't ours. Sometimes they're impressed upon us. And I don't think I ever intended for a house to be on this property. I know that in the comments, my mom has said that people have been like, you know, what's going on with the property? Just put a house on it already. It's not like going to the grocery store and picking up a carton of eggs or something. A house is a very big commitment and a lot of money to put on a property. But I mean, so far I've been just trying to listen to my intuition about what goes on this property. I didn't think that was the direction that it was going to go, but I've been kind of looking inward and exploring that and not neglecting myself so much. So it's just piece by piece and seeing what gets, you know, shown to me to put out here on this property, especially for the intention of mindfulness and peace. So the screen, you guys you've seen the tarp that we've had over here, these line of tarps on this side. I believe we're going to get the same mesh for over there just for now. The fences are actually really expensive, and with the heat out here right now, it's really hot to be doing all that manual labor. I mean, when I sit out here doing work on this property, usually the shirt comes off and I just have these shorts on because it is hot and like I'm just pouring sweat. I mean, it's hot out here now. I'm surprised I'm not pouring more sweat.
I am.
I know, I see you.
I'm just recording you and I'm pouring sweat.
Yeah. Here is another type of jasmine right here that I put going up here. Once I put this here, Stevie actually said, he's like, you should have put that moon, the moon gate right here. But then he also likes this because he said that it kind of seemed like it was also like those Japanese entrances. And he was like, you should paint it red. And I'm like, red's gonna throw everything off. He's like, paint it red anyway. I'm like, well, what if I paint that red? And then I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to think consciously about it. I want to get, you know, the push, the intuition, you know, like when you, like something told me, it's like you get this download in your mind. You're not even thinking about it and it just comes to you. It's like this whole package of data and you understand it instantly. And so that's what it's like with the stuff that's out there. Did you show them these things, the covers? Mm-hmm. So we got this umbrella here that was given to us, actually. Is it called an umbrella? Mm-hmm. That I, of course, had to tackify up and put lights all the way around it, so it looks kind of like, here's the spot at night, because the lights are all the way around here. But it actually illuminates at night the pool, so like if you want to get in, you don't have to have like a big light. It's a soft light that's multiple colors, but it's like a soft light that's inside, so you can still see what you're doing. But these over here, that's not a color I would normally pick, but it still is pretty. Teal is a pretty color. Did you see this dragon over here? Or it's a Loch Ness. Oh. This floaty, I think it's from like a Pokemon or something like that. I forget the name of it, but it's a pretty big floaty. But this teal color here, the reason why I got these in the chair was to match with that. And I don't know why this grass down here, I got this idea to put this here, but I went ahead and did it. I'm like, I seen it, it just flashed in my mind, and I'm like, okay, I gotta do it. And when it flashed in my mind, I'm like, but that's gonna take me some time. I wanna see it right now, but I already seen it, but I wanna physically see it. And so I spent a really good amount of time like in the evening with these 200-watt lights shining to get all of it done. And I got it done.
That's why you don't see some of this work being done, because it's so hot out here. Sometimes he does the work at nighttime.
Yeah, a lot of it I've been doing at night with these lights because it's just so hot. So over here, this is a peach tree. I have it. It's a peach, right? Okay. And I have it covered because the leaves were falling and they were starting to get singed from the sun. The same as with the apple tree over there. And I found out that the apples and the peaches can go together, but they can't go with the citrus trees because we have orange trees, lime trees, and lemon trees. And so those can't go together, so those have to go somewhere else. But these, they say they need full sunlight, but I guess not that much full sunlight.
Not Florida sun.
No. So here's my mom's concoction.
It was all tangled up, so I had to untangle it, and I didn't have nothing to put it on, so that's where it went, on a water bottle.
She was in the gazebo untangling it, and I came out and found her orange-handed.
Yeah, because that orange on there is actually spray paint.
Yeah, it's the cans of paint where, what's that marker? Where you, on the ground? And so these are 10-foot, 4x4x10. And the reason why I got that, actually I have to look it up and see and make sure that it's 2 feet that can go into the ground still when it's 10 feet long, because the net, or that shield thing, privacy, it's 8 feet tall. So I got the 10 feet so that I could go 2 feet into the ground, cement, and then 8 feet on there. And it's not heavy, so it should be fine. And it's gonna go right back here. Because inside of this space, one thing that I like to do is to listen inwardly, and that means shutting everything down, shutting your thoughts down, being quiet, and just listening. And sometimes you feel, even in that space, that you're being watched. Even if no one's watching you. And what I found is the subconscious, it's an observer. It records everything that you see and everything that you do every moment. It's very active at night whenever you're sleeping, but it's constantly recording everything in your life and creating a pattern in your brain that you are locked into. And it watches. And sometimes what I found out is maybe I'm not being watched by anyone. Maybe I'm actually watching myself.
I always feel like...
Yeah, somebody's watching. It's me. So, I don't think that this should maybe take too long. There shouldn't be too many roots down here. And I got, like, I'm going to go based off of these posts that are here. But I'm going to come back about, like, maybe a foot or two. Because there's kind of an incline going up, and I don't want to dig up the fence that's there. And so I'm going to come back a little bit and make a straight line. And then there's 7 posts. Is it 7? Yeah.
8. You bought 8.
Oh, I bought 8 just in case I needed an extra one. So I always get a little bit extra just in case, so 1 extra. But yeah, I'm gonna dig those 2 feet down and then put the post in, concrete, water, all that. And then at the store that we went to, they had a limited variety of concrete, because I wanted Quickcrete so that it would dry, because it's like 15-20 minutes for Quickcrete, something like that. And I've done it with other things around the property, use that, and I like it because it dries so quick, or gets like a sturdy lock on it really quickly. But they were like, we don't have that, we're out. The only thing we have, the guy was like, oh, you can put it down today and it'll be dry tomorrow. And I'm like, ooh, I want to do it today. So the lady looked it up and she was like, it actually says it'll dry in like 45 minutes to an hour. So hopefully it does. But I'll test it before I put up that shade. Privacy thing. I'll test that out. But it'll be really interesting doing that one over there, because I swear there's like 17 to 20 of the posts.
You might actually have to put that on there too, like that shade on top of that, because of how see-through it is. But then now they're going to see through.
Oh, you mean like put the 10-foot post in, but then put the tarp on and then the shade on. See, that's the thing. They say it's 90%, but then as I look light-wise, I could see you. And the thing is that there's a lot of light that illuminates over here, like in the evening.
Especially that way.
Here.
No, this way.
Light illuminates.
Yeah, the sun goes down on that side. So it's coming across and you'll be able to see straight through that fence, I would think.
Oh, you mean like in the daytime as the sun's going down? Oh, I was just talking about at night.
Oh, okay.
It's getting dark. At night, the lights that are over here, if there's lights on this side, someone's on this side, then you can see through from the light shining this way. Ain't so chill, more like hot vibes. But This is what I have to work with. There's a water hose. Oh, I'm getting way too close to you.
Yes, she was.
But there's a water hose running down here. There is a extension cord. So we're gonna have the electric done over here to where there's gonna be a panel put over here for electricity, because we're just kind of feeding off of extension cords, and it's, as the internet says, not safe. They say it's a fire hazard, but I think they have to say it's like a universal warning. Oh, it's a fire hazard. But yeah, I'll go ahead, get started digging some holes while I guess my mom sets up and runs off. Seeks shelter to get cool. Let's go. 6:58 p.m. I'm gonna put these headphones on because there's some noise over here, and I kind of want to be like in my own space. Helps me like chill. So I think what I'm gonna listen to is probably, I have an 80s playlist, so I'm gonna listen to some 80s music and keep my drink nearby, hopefully. But I'm gonna put these on because the sun's going down. It's gonna be daylight out here like this until probably going on almost 9 o'clock. But we'll get it done. It's nice doing it at least now because of how hot it was earlier. It was like unbearable earlier. It was so hot out here in this open area that I call it the beach. Any place like around your house that it's hot, like piercing hot, I always call it the beach, and it usually happens in the summer. I've seen it like that at apartments, at houses. There's always some spot if there's an open area where it's like blazing hot, like hotter than normal. So the sun's kind of behind this tree over here right now, but there's some more sunlight back over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started, but I'm gonna get my 80s playlist on. Okay, so I found my pole levelers here. But that that rubber band that comes on them, I don't have them on here because they melted or something like that. Because you use them like 2 or 3 times and they're out in the sun and they get real sticky and tacky. So I have painter's tape, electric tape, grafting tape, and this is Gorilla tape, but it's like how duct tape used to be. I was looking for Scotch tape because I had some in here, but I guess I must have robbed myself or something because I cannot find it anywhere. But which one do you think I'm going to use? Electric, painters, Gorilla, or grafting to put it on the pole leveler? None of them now because I found these two that have some of that tacky rubber band or whatever that is on it. I have no idea why they make that like that because it gets real tacky and then it falls apart. And do you see this? How much I'm sweating? This is the first pull. My shirt is soaked out here and the sun is about to go down below those trees. And oh, there's my phone. It's 7:30. 30 minutes filming and working. Yeah. Okay, so I just remembered. I dug a 2-foot hole and there's 8 feet sticking out the top. And in order to get that leveler with that tape on it, or the rubber band on it, I would have to go over the pole. So I'm going to use the Gorilla tape on these to wrap it around the pole, closer to where I can see. I'm going to try to take this, like, oh no. This probably isn't gonna work. Now, what I wanted to do is see if I can... It worked! Rip it in half. Okay, let's see. Okay, so intuition told me my intuition, this pole is sticking out of the ground a lot more than what the other poles are. Of course, this is 10 feet, the other ones are 8 feet. Now for the fence, generally what I did was I buried them 2 feet. That was recommended for where we're at, to bury them 2 feet down with the cement and the pole, and that's worked great. Now, when I look online, it says the rule of thirds. So to bury the pole, a 4x4 pole, 1/3 the length of the pole into the ground. So that would be, I got 2 feet dug already. That would be 3.33, something like that feet. But I'm thinking, okay, if I went over there and I did an 8-foot pole 2 feet in, that's a fourth. 25%, not 33%. Now I know this is taller. That over there has a wooden fence on it. That's a lot heavier. This right here isn't heavy. All this right here is lighter than one of those panels. This panel that I just pulled off and put over here, that was heavier than this entire 50-foot screen that's going to go up. So it should be okay as long as I fill the hole up with concrete, I believe. At about 2.5 feet instead of the 3.3. So 2.5 feet would be 25% of the 10. And so I had to do a little bit of math on my calculator. So I'm going to put a mark on the post hole digger at 2.5 feet. So I know when I go into the hole that that's the 2.5 feet. So the thing about that is that at 2 feet in, there's 8 feet on the top. The shield or privacy fence itself is 8 feet long, so I'm already at 2.5 feet, gonna have an extra half of a foot somewhere. probably at the bottom, and maybe fold it under. I don't know. I'll see. But I'm gonna go with 2.5 feet because with the cement in there, I think that'll be fine with the light load on it. I know you never know if you're gonna take it down and put something else like a fence up on it, but I'll cross that bridge when I get there. Now, somebody probably already knows this. I didn't know this, but like I had this tape right here at 2 feet right here. This line on this post hole digger, that is 2.5 feet. Look at this dragonfly. But that's 2.5 feet right there. I just measured it. And I was gonna put the tape on. I'm like, wait, it's got a groove there already. Now I thought I would come over here and show you what this looks like. That one there, and that one there. So, somebody says, I don't mean nothing. You don't have the stuff down there. Oh wait, no I do. So I have this down here. I'm a little bit in front of it, but I'm not so concerned with this being as straight as possible, but it needs to be at least close to that line right there. I'm thinking like maybe at least 2.5 inches off of that line. And what I normally do, and I didn't do this time, because I don't do this all the time. Actually, I've only done this like a handful of times. But what I normally do is take that orange spray and put it down through there so that I can see the line on the ground. And then I just dig the hole from on the line. And then like when I have to put the post down, I'll put like the line is already down through here, and then I'll put another line right there so it's like a plus sign where I have to dig the hole. But I have these in here with those are I think these are like staples. No, They're yard staples, I think, for like weed barrier and just holding things down. But I put it right here so that it's lined up with where it is here. And then down here, I wanted to stretch that out and put two of them down there so that it would hold this here down. And then I can stretch this out this way and then mark it on there. But I think it should be fine. Yeah, I think it should be fine. Whenever I forget, like, to put the spray paint down through here, on here, that yard spray, it's orange. I guess you can get different colors, but the one I have is orange. But when I forget to put it down here and then I have to come off of it a little bit, what I typically do is I'll get, once this is like tight here, I'll get like a measuring tape and measure from here to the center line right there and see how far that distance is. And then when I find the spot down here that I need to put the pole at the center distance, then I will measure, that's getting blurry, I'll measure off of the line here the same, like just to say that is like 4 inches or something. I'll measure the 4 inches off and then I'll put the mark right there where I need to put the post hole digger.
Well, it looks like Casey's got some more of this screen fencing stuff up over here. Most of the time, the reason why we haven't been out here recording a whole lot is because of how hot it is, and it takes a lot longer to record, and then that means longer time out here in this heat, and don't need anybody getting a heat stroke. So that's how much he's accomplished. He's getting it done. So if you see the dip in that one side right there, it's because this is supposed to be actually attached to a chain link fence, but it is a privacy screen that we're just putting up for the time being. Well, in this area here, I did come through here and pull most of the vines that I could find up. We're gonna have to eventually at some point break all this out of here and put a barrier down, because I think he forgot to put a barrier on this side. But while Casey was finishing up putting his fence up, let me show you what came in. This thing here came in, supposed to lower the temperature for the plants, and he put it over top of these, but he said he still thinks or can see how the plants may still get burnt. So we will see. If they don't work, they're going back. Here in this area, there is this little area until this fence gets put up, but you can move this fence and come out this way. I don't know how far down. I don't know if you can get completely out, but it's good that it's like this for now, because then you can come back here and get the weeds that are trying to climb over the fence. I came back here not too long ago and got this stuff off, but growing again. And, oh, there is a way out down here. I wanted to see that noise I heard the other day. See if it was over here. See this side of the fence. I told Casey we're gonna have to come down through here and okay, I don't know what that was. I heard something. It's like a cat hissing at me. But come down through here and mow this here before this stuff starts growing up this side of the fence. Even though this is the easement way, I just want to see if I see any little piece of metal and where that noise would have came from. Just little tree branches and everything down. Oh, I think I hit one of those things with the white flowers on it on my foot. My foot's itching. I didn't see any, but I'm sure there is some. It might have not had the flower on it. Oh yeah, there's one right there. It doesn't have the flower on it. This thing, where is it? This thing right there. It's got little pricklies on it, and that thing touches you and makes you start itching. Oh, there's another one. See, they're out here. That thing right there, it's starting to get a little white flower on it. Ooh, there's another one. This one's bigger. I see the little pricklies on that one. I haven't never seen one get this big though. Here's the white flowers. Those things, you hit up against those things, whew, it just makes you start itching. I don't see any little pieces of metal or any kind of metal out here. Maybe it was something in their yard. It just sounded like it was in our yard. Nope, there it is. The no trespassing sign. I think Casey forgot that he has these things back here attached to the fence. They put these things on here, these 2x4 things sticking out just until the cement dried, and well, I'm sure it's dry now. 3 of them back here. I think that one's a 2x2. Mr. Lizard, I see you. Where'd you go? Oh, he ran. I see you, Mr. Lizard. Okay, I need to come through there. I'm gonna have to run. Yeah, see, there's our pole vacuum, but it stopped working. But let me show you what Casey's done so far with the fence. Well, Casey finally got the rest of the fence put up. And like we said, it's loose up there on the top in some spots. But actually looks pretty nice. I guess he put an actual piece of fence down there, or just leaned it up against there. That's going to be all for our video today. Go ahead and give us a like and leave a comment down below. And if you like our content, go ahead and give us a subscribe. We'll see you next time. Bye.